I'm here with Jeff Berwick. He is the founder of the Dollar Vigilante and also the sponsor of Anarchapulco. Can you tell us what anarchy means to you?
It really is just people getting along and not standing for anyone who uses violence or extortion against others. There's only one principle. It's actually the same as Jesus said, the golden rule: do unto others as you want them to do unto you, or we call it the non-aggression principle, the NAP. Do not aggress against others, and if you see others doing it, stand up against it.
Everybody, got Roger Ver here, the CEO of Bitcoin.com.
I'm willing to bet 10,000 US dollars or equivalent in Bitcoins that over the next 2 years, Bitcoins will not only outperform the stock market, gold, silver, and the US dollar, but Bitcoins will do it by more than 100 times. This means that I'm willing to bet that if silver is up by 100% over the next 2 years, I think Bitcoin will be up by more than 10,000%.
Why is Bitcoin.com sponsoring this event?
Because I think each individual should have 100% complete control of their own money and be able to send and receive any amount of money with anyone, anywhere in the world instantly and basically for free. And Bitcoin enables that. And people at Anarchapulco appreciate that. So this is everybody here is a Bitcoin fan.
I'm here with Jeffrey Tucker. He's a renowned Austrian economics writer and thinker.
If you don't understand economics and you're not alert to what it teaches, you can go about your life with ring around the collar, with gritty, dirty dishes, and even worse, a state of unbelievable ignorance about what it is that causes civilizations to rise and civilizations to fall.
I tend to toggle in my own self-description between liberal, which I think is actually the historically accurate phrase, and anarchist, which to me represents, my ideal of my conviction that society can manage itself better than the state can manage society. If you can get there intellectually to imagine a world without the state and have a conviction that things won't be perfect, but at least they'll be always improving, and that we have a model for correcting our errors and gradually building a better society for everybody. That's a big moment in life, and I don't think you ever fully step back from that.
Hey guys, it's Francis Hunt. Three things, three hats: the market sniper, a methodology and a mindset for your trading and building your wealth through crypto and other markets; the reset sniper, the understanding that the game is up, the iceberg's already been hit, and they're keeping the band playing, but this ship's going down; and then the crypto sniper, which is I suppose the peer-to-peer and the decentralized money that we all want, the cutout of the banks, the cutout of the transfer mechanism relying on that system. So that's what I'm about.
That makes me feel so short. Oh my God.
You got better hair than I do, so
Well, it's not high enough.
But no, dude, I love it. I mean, one of the things that's fascinating to me is you come from an establishment media background, and now you're railing against that.
Well, it was back in April. In fact, it was one of the very first reality checks I did here at Fox 19.
Well, Pizzagate. It became a major story weeks ago when an armed man decided to investigate a D.C. area pizza place for himself.
And the question media is not asking, who here actually committed a crime? The first step in full disclosure: inform.
I've been fortunate enough over the years to have been given a number of opportunities. And what I keep finding with those opportunities is you have the opportunity, and then if you push too hard and you make the wrong people unhappy, they want you to go. And then they'll bring you back as long as you're willing to not ruffle too many feathers.
Hey there, guys. Ben Swan here, or should I say, Ben Swan is back.
After a year in the dark, the only way I was able to bring back Reality Check and Truth in Media was through the support of Dash Digital Cash, which I have described to you before as a revolutionary cryptocurrency.
I'm so excited about it because what Dash has been able to do is provide for me the opportunity to be able to not present, with an iPhone and a white wall as the background, right? Presenting in a professional way, because even though people will say, I don't trust the media, I don't believe what they say, when you produce quality stuff, they listen and they share it and they spread it around.
Pleasure to meet you, President Jedlička. What is your ultimate vision and goal for Liberland?
Well, the secret plan is, of course, to take over the world and leave people alone, and that's the secret libertarian plan. But we would be happy if we were located in a couple of years on all continents and could really insert prosperity into the places where the people are struggling the most. It was formed on 13th of April 2015. That was the birthday of Thomas Jefferson 2.5 years ago, and it's supposed to be, and that's what we are aiming for, the freest country on this planet. We wanted to find it on libertarian principles and going all the way to basically anarchic concept. So use the latest technologies to upgrade the Republic into a anarcho-capitalist society. That's our goal. We want to, again, have as little taxes as possible, have actually a voluntary tax system, and have as little regulation as possible. And we know from history and from the economic experience that, of course, that brings the most happiness and most prosperity.
Yeah, so this is the Liberland passport that we're looking at right now.
We actually combine in Liberland the best elements of monarchy with best elements of corporation and best elements of democracy. So it's a new way of governance. Most efficient structures on the planet are corporations. So whoever pays taxes in Liberland actually is buying shares of the country that they are living in. And I think that's the revolutionary concept. So the more taxes you pay, the more say you have, and of course also you get dividends from the fact that you're a shareholder of the country. Something I've noticed in the Bitcoin community, as you're very aware, there's a big civil war in a way going on in the Bitcoin community.
The only reason you want to call it Bitcoin Cash is because you want to co-opt the brand.
I think Bitcoin Cash has a more legitimate claim to being the Bitcoin that was outlined in the bitcoin.org website. So yes, that's my position.
So you personally just want people to think that it's Bitcoin.
Is Bitcoin. Read my lips.
Why do you think the folks here that are more libertarian-oriented and anarcho-capitalist-oriented, why do they prefer Bitcoin Cash?
Because it actually works as cash. So the title of the original Bitcoin white paper is Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. And the Bitcoin core supporters today are openly hostile to the idea of using it as cash.
People they try to look at it, money as currency is the same thing. They're not the same thing. They've never been the same thing.
Well, if you're not using Bitcoin as cash anymore, then it's not the Bitcoin described in the white paper. It's not the Bitcoin that went from nothing to being this worldwide phenomenon that it is today.
If you had two currencies and they were both exactly the same currencies, one can be a store of value and uses the currency because it has lower fees, and one is also just a store of value. And you would argue, but realistically, if one also had the ability to use it with lower fees, wouldn't that make it worth more?
There's two versions of Bitcoin. One is slow, expensive to use, and unreliable. The other is fast, cheap to use, and reliable. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out which one of those two versions of Bitcoin is going to be more popular, and that's Bitcoin Cash.
Many people make the mistake there's going to be one winner. There isn't the internet company. There's space for a lot of things to win. So I'd prefer if there was less vitriol between Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin itself. I don't know if one has to die for the other one to win. One can go the store value route, the other one can be the transactional route. I don't want to get involved with he said, she said, and spats and all of that. Let's just recognize the way we lose is we start turning on each other like crabs in a bucket and start pulling each other down. We're fighting against a much bigger enemy here.
You have to understand something, that like 100 years ago, the central bank was established to be the monopoly bank in the United States with one money, and all money must go through it, and through this means it would plan the U.S. economy using the best science. That was the idea, but it fundamentally depended on retaining this monopoly.
There's a capital control, right? You know what that is? You want to send some money to your guy, right? And then you go to the bank, you say, please send this money to my guy. And they go like, sorry sir, we cannot do that.
Cryptocurrency comes along and penetrates that monopoly. It's actually already done the work it was supposed to do. It's like a little bit like if you could drill a hole in a dam, that's holding back the sea. You don't have to break down the whole wall. You have to just get one leak in it, and then it's going to gradually crumble over time. And that's what cryptocurrency is doing to the existing central banking establishment.
When I installed MonkeyCoin, we destroyed the capital control.
when you have a highly volatile, expanding universe, it's natural to have big moves and big pullbacks. It's going to continue in the macro sense to expand. Within that, there will be many cycles of hypervaluation, correction, undervaluation, and pump. So what you get is a cycle, kind of like a sine wave that's been angled upwards and is tipping up, because the net value is one of appreciation and greater acceptance.
It's boiling, man. It's boiling. Everybody has heard of crypto. Everybody's asking themselves how to use it. And it's popping up. It's coming up like a volcano.
It's worth pointing out, right now today on Bitcoin Cash, transactions are already lightning fast, right? About a second to propagate from my wallet to yours and have it show up in your wallet. That's fast enough for any merchant. That's faster than credit card transactions.
It's gonna get mass adoption of cryptocurrency. They're gonna be better.
Freedom means being able to tell people what they don't want to hear, because everything else is public relations. Everything else is you working as a PR machine for some corporation or for some government agency that's telling you this is the line, now push it.
The times that we live in is an era of decentralization, and we're seeing that with cryptocurrency, we're seeing that with a lot of things. How do you see that playing out with media?
Well, I think the media needs to be decentralized. You know, we know for a fact that when we talk about national media, there's what, 6-7 companies that own all of it. When you talk about local media, in especially broadcast, there's about a dozen companies that own all of it. Sinclair right now is trying to buy up more, and if that happens, it'll really come down to like 6 companies in local media.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things safely are true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
American media is distrusted almost as much as the government itself these days, and that is for a reason. It's because people are not stupid, people are getting wise to the game, they know what's going on, and people want to know the truth. And that doesn't mean that anybody has the perfect truth. It's just that we need to stop letting them tell us what to believe and start rethinking our place in the world, our relationship to government, our relationship to each other. And that's only going to require, going to require a rejection of the mainstream opinion that's being shoved down our throat for the last 100 years.
The good news is that while most people will follow mainstream media, if you look at the polling, only like 9% of Americans trust mainstream media, which is really interesting, right? That means, 91% of the population says, I actually don't trust what they're saying, but then they listen to it.
That's the problem. People don't get access to our message. It's not on the mainstream television programming. It's called programming for a reason. It's literally brainwashing. And it's not in the government indoctrination camps that they call schools. So most people have never heard these ideas. Once they hear them, a lot of people's eyes open up and go, and that's what happened with me. When I first became a believer in this sort of a thing, my eyes opened wide and I said, this changes everything. This is the information.
The Winston Churchill quote about people stumble upon truth and then they just want to keep...
And they run away.
Yeah.
So he says, Winston Churchill once said that most men and women will stumble upon truth at some point, but most of them will pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing ever happened.
History is on fast forward. We're moving very, very quickly. And I think if you want to understand what's happening, you have to detach yourself from mainstream media. You have to look at alternatives like Infowars and others. If you're not doing that, you are not understanding the historical moment in which we live.
A lot of people have a confusion. Of course, the mainstream media, the fake news, obviously likes to talk about anarchy is dangerous. If there's a riot and someone breaks a window, they go, it's anarchy. That's on purpose. They've been doing that for decades.
Starting to see a lot of attention, negative attention, from some of these media personalities, essentially, who were negative, right? Because I was blowing up their narrative. So when you start blowing up their narratives, and you guys know this, you blow up the narratives of what the mainstream talks about, all of a sudden, now they want to fight you because you're not playing along. And the way they fight you is not with facts. It's not with saying, hey, you said this and it's incorrect. You said this and it was... No, they don't do that. Instead, it's things like, you have an all right haircut. Or you're a conspiracy theorist.
Imagine if Galileo hadn't been able to say at all that the Earth goes around the sun, and they'd shut him up instantly. Maybe we'd still be fooled by those sorts of people that claim that the Earth is the center of the universe. If you have a bunch of people that are in control and say you are not even allowed to discuss something that's not towing the party line, society doesn't move forward.
It's funny to me these guys have these big pearly white teeth and big brains all the time, on the surface, but they're vicious when they come after you.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen that firsthand.
Absolutely, and it is a very organized, coordinated attack that comes. The people thought that I had been killed, right? A lot of people thought that I was dead. But the reality is their goal isn't to shoot you in the head. Their goal is to kill your career, to kill your credibility, to kill your voice. That's what they're really after.
Like I said, you watch the media or anything, they try to make us look like we are like really bad people. It's the exact opposite. The really bad people are in Washington, D.C. and every other government in the world. We're the ones who are saying, let's stop this, let's move on as humanity and start to have voluntary transactions.
Back in 1962, if you ask the average person, do you trust the government to do the right thing? More than 2/3 of Americans said yes. Today, it's 18%. Now, you have to ask yourself, how long can a system survive with only 18% public confidence? You know? I mean, it just can't. There's too many anomalies in the prevailing system to survive. And you might say, well, when is it going to change? When are we going to get rid of this Leviathan state? I don't know. It could happen tomorrow. It could take 10 years. It could take 20 years. I don't think so. You know, what you've got right now is a ruling class that has hegemony without consensus, without even a modicum of public approval beyond like 10-15%. That is an unsustainable situation.
Do you think it's possible for the government to regain that trust?
I think it's too late.
This is what I hear from almost everyone here is they feel, especially if they're coming from the U.S., which is, you know, it's so unfree today, that it's so nice for at least a week of the year to be around people who have generally the same values.
It's a wonderful event. I love the culture here. I think the organizers did a very good job. All the speeches have been fantastic. One stage, top-notch speakers. Everybody's really excited.
This is my tribe, man. I belong here. You know, people, open-minded people, seeking liberty, needing support in how best to manifest that. A lot of people are taken by the ideas, but executing that. A lot of people that can support you here in terms of various things. Our angle is wealth building in a crypto space. There's other people that are, you know, health and wellness, and all the themes are here that you should be looking for. But this is my tribe. These are my people, and I belong here, and I certainly will look forward to becoming here again.
It's the best anarcho-capitalist meeting that you can ever visit. And it's, I would say, the most get things done meeting that is there on the planet. So you really get to meet, if you've got some strong idea and you want to make it happen, this is the place where you get some people to support you.
I've been here, this is the 4th one. I've been to all 4, and I'm looking forward to the 5th one. It's getting better and bigger every single year with more and more people. So make sure, if you're not here this year, make sure you're here next year. You will not be disappointed.
Where can people learn more about Liberland?
It's liberland.org. We'll soon have a new website which will show all the services that are out there, and it will be a brand new one, so probably in 14 days. But right now you can register on the old one, and we will inform you about the new one.
Check out my podcast, Anarchast. I'm on 400 plus episodes, top anarcho-capitalist podcast in the world. You can check out the Dollar Vigilante. We talk about the more financial aspect of it. Come to Anarchapulco. That's actually really the best way. We've had a number of people who have brought their friends who aren't anarchists, who are very statist, and by the end of it, most of them are anarchists.
Oh, truthandmedia.com. That's right, truthandmedia.com. You can find all the content there. On Facebook, if you're on Facebook, it's Ben Swan, a reality check on Facebook. You can see all the videos there.
TheMarketSniper.com is our primary URL. The Crypto Sniper is our YouTube channel for crypto. MarketSniper.com for methodology. And the Reset Sniper, where we're forward-looking about how it's going to play out so that you can financially prepare. And there's many different kinds of preparations you can do. But one of the key things is you've got to be able to survive and support your family. So we focus on the financial element, theresetsniper.com.
I'm Crypto on YouTube, CRYPT0.
And you?
I'm Arcane Bear on YouTube. You can find both of us on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, all that crazy, Twitter, all that crazy nonsense, everywhere.
One last question. Okay. What do you have to say to the Infowars audience and to Alex Jones?
Well, thank you for all you do, and thanks for Infowars for at least for providing an alternative. And Alex Jones, I hope we can catch up some point.
There was an idea. to bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, the state will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that it's right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Freedom still arrives.
Vacate the state. Engage all the speakers and get this man a microphone.
Fun isn't something that one considers when eradicating tyranny. But this does put a smile on my face.